Now, being a bushman, we have to be very aware of dangers in the Australian bush, even if it is just somebody's backyard. And this particular area is very dangerous, particularly due to leeches. So pretty much every time that I've come here, I've encountered leeches, particularly after rain. Leeches are really bad. Also, this area is very famous for drop bears as well. Those big trees you might have seen from one of my earlier videos where a drop bear may or may not have jumped and attacked me. And unfortunately, my ninja reflexes have allowed my safety to be assured, but my hat has definitely suffered the attack. So anyway, these are the things we put up with in the very harsh Australian bush, as well as poisonous snakes, poisonous spiders, and rogue women. So various things you do have to be aware of. Now, in regards to leeches, leeches actually put a chemical into you when they bite you to keep you bleeding, a coagulate or whatever that's called. And if you do get a leech off on you, the last thing you want to do is squeeze it off, because that squeezes the poison into you and keeps you bleeding. So one time I got bit here, and then by the time I drove back to Sydney, then I lost quite a lot of blood, and I was trying to keep my fingers on the holes, which it really isn't that easy while you're driving. So I'll try to dramatize that as much as possible, but the better way to do it is just be aware that leeches, they really hate Americans. So if you have this magic stuff and you can actually put the this stuff on the leech, then the leech will suddenly curl up and it will stop injecting venom in you to keep you bleeding. You can also put some of this on your wound, because this will help to protect you against leeches, because leeches hate Americans. It's got nothing to do with the salt. It's the Americans they hate the most. They do hate salt, but they hate cichlids, but they hate Americans the most, especially ones that vote for Trump. So if you're a leech, then you would know that Trump voting Americans are the thing you hate the most. So pour a bit of this on your leech and it will let go of you and it will stop sucking off you. So it's important not to be sucked on by things that you don't want to be sucked on. So just take precautions, people, especially when out in the Australian bush like this. You can watch how much leeches hate Americans. Watch this. So there's the leech. You just tip a little bit of American salt on him, like that. You go, oh. Looks like it's had a big party. Looks like someone's nose or a booger on a Friday night. Look at him. He's not having as much fun though, is he? Hey? Don't like that, do you? So that is a lovely end for a leech. Tip some American salt on the leech and he'll quickly shrivel up and die. No more sucking off society for you, buddy. You ain't gonna vote for Trump, are you, hey? Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Oh, beautiful. Hey, Mozzie. Oh, I'm very happy with this pond now. I can very clearly see all the beautiful rosy bugs all getting about their life. The goldfish are doing really well. The other thing I'm very happy about too is I placed some calcium rocks on the filter to make sure that it's aiming up, so I've got good surface agitation. The other filter is aiming in that direction to try to get a little bit of water flow. So I'm not going to touch this pond today because this pond is a win. That is beautiful crystal clear water, and I've replaced the UV tubes in the filter, so this one is complete. I will say though that sometime soon giving those filters another clean would be a good idea. My first job of today has been removing the fish out of this bottom pond. Now what I'm going to do is start scooping all the crap out of this pond, making sure that I don't get any fish, to allow me to do a big clean out of this pond. Then I'm going to get into the filters. What's brilliant about these Awasa filters is how easy they are to backwash. Now look at all that chocolate milkshake that's coming out of here. So all we do is switch that to backwash, then we start pumping on this handle. Now a month ago I took this filter apart and gave it a real good clean. So this is making it very easy to clean now. So we've got a chocolate milkshake coming out there. And power's gone off again, that's interesting. There's something going on with this pump because the pump is going on and off. So the pump's had a good clean out. It's gone off again. Got a mystery. Just trying to work out whether it is the pump or the power point. So I've switched the power point from that power point to that power point. And now this pump seems to be running efficiently. So there is something going on with that power point. No, it's not. Nope, not the power point, because the pump's done the same thing on a different power point. The pump's not clogged up, the filter's not clogged up. Something going on. So this pond's very clean now. It's got a bit of sediment that I've disturbed. I've cleaned the biological, the mechanical filtration in that filter. And I've also replaced the UV sterilizer. So eventually that can go back in here. Get that fired up a bit later. Actually, there's no reason why I can't fire that up now. It's only got a little bit of sediment in the water. So let's turn you on. So this pond will stabilize quite nicely now. Now you can see that this fountain is giving a nice little flow. Now over time, as that clogs up, it means the filter needs cleaning, and that's all there is to it. And it will need cleaning regularly, considering all the runoff that's going to end up in the pond. Okay, so to clean the next pond, I am using, there's a pump in there. Now I'm using that pump to drain the water. So that pump would usually shoot water up to here to allow it to flow back down. Now for future reference, I would consider putting a tap just there in the pipe and then circulate some water within that pond, because at the moment the amount of power that comes up to the top is very significant and you wouldn't really need that much water flowing through here. So putting a tap in there would allow water flow in that pond, which is a bonus, and reduce the amount of flow coming to the top. So right now I'm just draining that water. Now because unfortunately the tap was left on in this pond, so tap water did flush these ponds out, and the water in here, because I've already cleaned these two, that one and that one, they're fine, but this one smells really, really bad. And that's because tap water has killed the fish, because the chlorine in the tap water has killed the fish off. So now I'm emptying this water out. I'm cleaning that pond out, getting all the leaves and so forth out, and then I'll get the pond refilled again, and then that one should be ready to go, because I gave that pond a good clean out last time as well. Now it's really important you keep these water courses clear, because the water in this case is supposed to go from this pond down this water course into that pond. Now if it clogs up with leaves, then the water can start overflowing out of the water course, and then obviously that means the water's not going to make it down to the bottom pond, and that means that you're going to end up with all sorts of trouble. So it's really important that these water courses are regularly cleaned and make sure they're well sealed, because they need to be able to do their job.